It's a showdown for AL Central supremacy. The Tigers stand a game and a half in front of the Indians in the division, thanks to another MVP caliber season from Miguel Cabrera and a star-studded starting rotation. But the Tribe has gained 4 games on Detroit in less than a month and bring a 24-15 home record into this 4-game series at Progressive Field. It starts tonight with Indians ace Justin Masterson looking to set the tone next on Sports Time Ohio. From Progressive Field in downtown Cleveland, it's a big weekend of baseball as the Cleveland Indians play host to the Detroit Tigers. First place in the Central Division is at stake. Hi again, everyone. Matt Underwood alongside Rick Manning. This should be a lot of fun. The Indians come in here just a game and a half back in Detroit in the Central Division standings, and boy, you can't ask for a better matchup. They've got their big guy on the hill in game one, Justin Masterson, who I think very deserving of an all-star game spot. He's 4th in the league in wins, 4th in strikeouts, but he leads the league in innings pitched, complete games, and shutouts.
Well, don't forget, he's 6-1 at home, so this would be a great way to get started off. A nice homestand here for Masterson to be on the mound. He's coming off his 3rd complete game shutout of the year in Chicago. He's done it twice to them. He's been very good this year. 10 wins already in the first half. You couldn't pick a better guy. He's matched up against Rick Porcello. I know he struggled in his last 2 starts, but he's made 2 starts against the Indians this year. They've both been very good. He's 1-0, and he's given up no more than 2 runs in either start.
You saw the ERA for Justin Masterson of 2.29 at home. That's 6th best in the American League. We got all the play-by-play action coming up next between the Indians and the Tigers right here on Sports Time Ohio. What a weekend of baseball it should be. Come on back and enjoy the action. Oh, welcome into a sold-out Progressive Field here in downtown Cleveland, Ohio. The gates are still jammed as folks still trying to fight their way into the ballpark to see this showdown between the first-place Detroit Tigers and the Cleveland Indians, just a game and a half behind Jim Leyland's group. Let's take a look at Leyland's starting 9 tonight for the Tigers. It will be Austin Jackson leading it off, followed by Andy Dirks. Then Miguel Cabrera leading the league in batting average and runs batted in, hits third. Prince Fielder cleanup, then Victor Martinez fifth. Johnny Peralta will hit sixth. Then it's Don Kelly, Alex Avila, and Ramon Santiago.
Justin Masterson on the mound for the Indians, making his 19th start. The Indians are 12-6 in his first 18 starts. Justin 10-6 on his record with a 3.48 ERA, coming off a complete game shutout against the White Sox. It was a dandy where he gave up 6 hits in his 9 innings. He is 0-1 this year against the Tigers. His only start, he went 7 innings, 6 hits, and gave up 4 runs.
Austin Jackson stands in, and we're ready to go. And Masterson catches the outside corner for strike one. .75 degrees, our game time temperature. A one hopper to second base. Jason Kipnis throws out Jackson, one away.
Let's check out the Kia Indians defense behind Masterson tonight. It'll be Brantley at left, Bourne in center, Stubbs is in right, Chisenhall at third, Cabrera at short, Kipnis is at second, Swisher at first. Santana will be doing the catching.
Rob Drake calling the balls and strikes. The crew chief, Joe West, is at first. Sam Holbrook at second. Andy Fletcher down at third. Andy Dirks stands in, takes a strike. A little bit inside, 1-1 to count. You'd never know it the way Dirks has swung the bat against the Indians. He's hit .343 against Cleveland. But on the year, just a .242 average. So he's hit 100 points higher than his season average against the Indians this year. Fouled off. Dirks stays alive. They got a piece of Santana. Given the success that Dirks has had against the Indians this year, I guess I can throw out that number that he's hit .214 in his last 31 games.
Well, you like to look at hitters' tendencies. Yeah, you're right. But
wow.
Let's take a look at this.
Yeah, another quick look here.
Nissan pitch tracker. It is away.
Yeah.
It's outside. Tried to wrap it around the outside corner.
2 balls, 2 strikes, just underway here in the first inning. Now the pitch. Up and away. A full count. Miguel Cabrera waiting on deck. And that is strike 3 called. Dirks doesn't like it. 2 down in the first.
He went in there earlier in the at-bat and didn't get it called. Let's see if this one comes back. It's got a little comeback to it. Santana sitting middle of the plate. It looked like it was inside edge, but he gets the called strikeout.
Keys to the game tonight. Let's hope Justin Masterson can set a very good tone for this 4-game series. And the Indians looking for more production from the 2, 3, 4 hitters. And when I say more, I mean continued, because those have been the guys, as that ball is just foul, who have really done the lion's share of the work offensively of late. Cabrera, Kipnis, and Swisher, even though Nick is still trying to find his swing and get back in the groove. He's been swinging a much hotter bat of late. Cabrera grounds it right at Jason Kipnis. And the Tigers go 1, 2, 3. Now the Indians are coming to bat when we come back. Let's go to the bottom of the first inning here at Progressive Field, and we'll take a look at Terry Francona's starting 9, brought to you by Progressive, making it easy to bundle your home and car insurance. Michael Bourne will lead it off, followed by Asdrubal Cabrera. Jason Kipnis, riding a 15-game hitting streak, will bat third. Then Nick Swisher, followed by Michael Brantley and Carlos Santana. Mark Reynolds will DH tonight and bat seventh. Then Lonnie Chisenhall and Drew Stubbs will hit ninth.
Rick Porcello on the mound, his 16th start, 17th appearance. He's 4-6, 521. Throw those numbers out because the 2 games he has pitched against the Indians this year has been very good. He's 1-0 in his 2 starts, but in 12 innings, just 7 hits and 4 runs.
Ball 1 to Michael Bourne. Bourne has hit .333 here at Progressive Field this year. Two balls, no strikes.
Porcello usually a strike-throwing machine. Only 17 walks this year in his 86 innings, so he's not going to give you many free passes.
Finds the outside corner this time, 2-1. Bourne got a piece of that. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Porcello, kind of like Andy Dirks. You look at his season numbers, and they're not all that impressive. But you look at what he's done against Cleveland, and you think, how is that possible? Doesn't seem to add up. Bourne pulls it foul. He's only allowed 7 hits in his 2 starts against the Indians, and no home runs.
Yeah, he's gone 6 innings in both starts. And lifetime, he's 6-3. But that's the 2 starts this year. Opposition hitting just 167, so he's been very stingy. And as I said, he doesn't walk anybody.
The 2-2. Swing and a miss. He strikes out Bourne to start the game.
Let's take a look at the Tigers' defense. That's rated 5th in the league. They've made 38 errors as a team. Dirks in left, Jackson center, Kelly in right. Cabrera at third, Peralta at short, Santiago at second, Fielder at first with Avila doing the catching.
Now is Asdrubal Cabrera. Cabrera had a very good road trip. 10 hits and 30 at-bats. Takes a strike over the outside corner. You know, it's funny. You mentioned the fact that Porcello doesn't walk anybody. I think we saw enough walks on that road trip to last us a while. Whether they be Indians pitching doing the
Kansas
walking
City.
or the opposition doing the walking, but we saw a lot of
free passes.
Yeah. And it set up rallies for both the Indians and their opponents at times. 2-1 to count. Now, granted, you can't throw the ball right down the middle of the plate, but it's no great mystery why the guys who don't walk people have more success. 2-1 pitch. At the knees for a strike.
Well, both these teams are tied in the league, both Detroit and Cleveland, with the same amount of walks. They both have 298 walks as teams, which is 3rd in the league. So they both do their share of walking. But when you give, if you rock the wrong guys and you've got to face guys in situations, that can come back and hurt you.
Jason Kipnis waiting on deck. Second hitter with a 3-2 count. Ennis is fouled away. Now the 3-2 to Cabrera, and that is fisted foul out of play. So Cabrera making Porcello work here early. 8th pitch of the at-bat.
Oh boy. Porcello really a ground ball guy, a lot like Masterson. Masterson a little better, but when you watch Porcello pitch, he can run that four-seamer by you upstairs. He has 68 strikeouts. Not that you consider him a strikeout pitcher, but he can strike you out and it'll surprise you. You got Michael Bourne. He could throw the high fastball by it because he sinks everything.
Now again the 3-2, and Cabrera takes low, ball 4. And a one-out base runner now for the Indians here in the first. And it's always good to get a base runner in front of the hottest hitter going, Jason Kipnis.
Well, there's a guy you don't think that Porcello would walk is Cabrera, and he ends up walking. That's only Cabrera's 17th walk of the year, and only the 18th given up by Porcello.
Jason Kipnis. June's player of the month, and he has picked up right where he left off here in the month of July. 24 hits in his last 52 at-bats. Let's get a look at our Firestone Complete Auto Care Extra Mile Index. Kipnis and James Loney of Tampa Bay, along with Hanley Ramirez of the Dodgers, all currently with 15-game hitting streaks. There you get a look. In his last 45 games, Kip has hit .362 with 8 homers and 37 runs batted in.
Boy, that's a nice run. Think about 45 games. It's a month and a half.
Yeah. 1-1 pitch. Slowly tapped in. It's going to go foul. Nick Swisher waiting on deck as Kipnis battles Porcello here in the first. As Drupal Cabrera held at first base by Prince Fielder. And he strikes him out. There's that good four-seam fastball that Rick was talking about. And Porcello has struck out a pair here in the first.
Well, let's look at the sequence here to Jason. He throws that little sinker he rolls over on. He tries to get him to chase another one, missed. Then comes the curveball, and then that's where you get him. That ball runs away, and he keeps it up a little bit, doesn't have as much movement.
All right, with 2 down, Nick Swisher comes to the plate. Swisher has hit 8 home runs this year, and 5 of those 8 have come right here at Progressive Field. Takes an off-speed pitch for strike 1. Already a 20-pitch first inning for the Tiger right-hander Rick Porcello. And it's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Jim Leyland, you see there in his 8th season at the helm of the Tigers. Last year, lost in the World Series. The 1-1 Line to left field. On the run is Andy Dirks, and he dives and makes a sensational catch to end the inning. So we've played one, no score here in Cleveland. Baseball is brought to you by McDonald's, now introducing 3 exciting new Quarter Pounders, and by Kia. All right, we come now to the second inning, no score. For Detroit, Prince Fielder, Victor Martinez, and Johnny Peralta due up. Prince Fielder, 4th in the American League in runs batted in with 65. Chops this one foul. We have seen him, really, this is nothing new, all season long. He has been a very aggressive swinger against the Indians. And he's gone 8 for 31 against Indians pitching this year.
Well, they've done a good job. This is the time you want to face him with nobody on base. He gets tougher when he gets runners in scoring position. You try and get ahead of him and elevate the fastball and get him to swing at something up out of the zone.
1-2 the count. Now, the reason I point out that he's been so aggressive against the Indians is the fact that he walks so many times. He's been on base safely 62 out of his last 69 games.
So well, and a lot of times people say, hey, if you try and get ahead of him early, and get him, and then you pitch to him. See if you can expand his zone. And that's why he knows that. Hey, you want to get ahead of me? I got to get after. That may be the best pitch I see in that bat.
Full count. Victor Martinez waiting on deck. And while Victor has had his moments this year, teams are much more willing to go at him than Fielder to this point in the season. 3-2 pitch. Chopped foul.
Just tough to level on that sinker of Masterson. You hit the top part of the ball and you just beat it into the ground like Fielder has done a couple times here. The only thing, it's been foul balls.
The count stays 3 balls and 2 strikes. And a routine bouncer to second baseman Jason Kipnis, who throws out Fielder, 1 down here in the second.
Let's take a look at the first inning. Watch this. That bat, the vibration of that bat, that is taken on our Fox Phantom Cam, which is a super duper slow motion camera, and you can see the vibration, and there it is right there.
At 5,000 frames per second, you can literally see the bat.
That's unbelievable.
Waggle. You can just see it.
I mean, that was off the end of the bat, and it is funny. And how many times have we see when you see balls hit off the end of the bat that it shatters the bat? That one was hit off, and you can just see the vibration.
Well, that's why.
Watch the bat bend. Look at that.
That's why the bat breaks, because you don't see that with the naked eye. But when it bends that violently, it wouldn't take much for it to crack. Terrific look. Victor Martinez taking a strike. And the count is 1-1. There's the 1-1 pitch, and Martinez fouls it off into the photo dugout next to the Tigers bench. We saw Martinez go deep in their last series in Toronto. He got a breaking ball down and in, and he just dropped the barrel head, golfed it out of the Rogers Center. 1-2 pitch. Right back to the screen. Johnny Peralta waiting on deck. Pair of former Indians here in the second inning. There's the line of the 1-2. Missed outside with it. Terry Francona, his club 45-40, coming into play tonight. Detroit 46-38. The 2-2. Another foul back. And that got a piece of Santana's finger. I don't know if it was the index finger.
Looks like it was.
He's shaking it off. Victor Martinez knows all too well the history between these two clubs, especially in recent years. The 2-2 pitch. Just, and I mean just missed.
Yeah, it's down and away.
Back in 07, it was the Indians who held off the Tigers to win the division and head to the playoffs. Martinez a key member on that club as he grounds one by Swisher. Down into the corner it goes. It's dug out by Stubbs, and Martinez has to hold with a long single. Swisher looked like he just lost his footing or never got good footing to make an effort at that ball.
Yeah, it gave way. He just slipped, I guess you could call it, or the cleat just never got any traction. You see, just spinning his own wheels. But with the bounce that took off the wall, Victor wasn't going to go to second base. He didn't want to take the chance. So it's only a single. Hit that ball well down the right field line.
Now Johnny Peralta. It might have hit off the plate right there. Cabrera going to step on second, throw to first, not in time. He just had to wait too long for it to come down. There's our Lowe's Never Stop Improving note. Through 18 starts this year, look at Justin Masterson's improvement across the board from a year ago.
I'd have to say one big reason is because of that slider he's been throwing this year. It has been outstanding. It has been devastating to right-handers, and it's been awfully tough to left-handers as well. Right-handers coming into the game hitting 180 against him. Lefties 250. But the strikeouts, that's been a strikeout pitch for him this year. 4th in the league in that department. This is the guy that hit a 3-run slider in Detroit that hurt him in the 6th inning the last time they played. It was down in, and I mean way down and in. It was off the plate. And he hit a 3-run homer into right field. And that was the difference in the game.
Masterson ready with a 1-1 pitch. Down and in. To understand how important that slider has been to Masterson, to me it's almost like he's good enough to beat you with just a sinker. We've seen it before where he's thrown nothing but sinkers, maybe 1 or 2 off-speed pitches against the team, and still dominated and won the game. Line into right field, a base hit for Don Kelly. He went down and in again, and that is the hot zone for Kelly.
Yes, it is. You have got to stay out of that place, that area, for when Kelly's hitting. You got to elevate the ball, make him get up, and use his hands to get on top of it. Hard to do when you're a sinker baller like Masterson, but it's down and it's middle to in. You know, and he just drops the bat head. He can hit that pitch down there. So the second hit in the inning, that's 1st and 2nd now with 2 outs.
Well, it doesn't have to be a strike. The home run he hit was not a strike. It was almost on the ground.
Well, then if you go in there, you get ahead of him, you bounce it.
Or go 4-seamers up. Try and make him do something he's not comfortable doing. 2 on, 2 out for Alex Avila. And a good slider in there for a strike. There you go. Just a golfing action. Down, knee high. And that's where he loves the ball.
Yeah.
Now the 0-1. But I think to further your point about the slider and how it's made him a better pitcher, he could beat you with 1 pitch, but having that slider, before, sometimes you go up against a really good hitting lineup. It's like going into a fight with one arm tied behind your back. You add the slider, now he's got 2 different ways to go at you.
Well, yeah.
So he's coming at you with more confidence. You go in with only 1 pitch.
Well, it puts more doubt in a hitter's mind. You get any hitter that all he has to look for is 1 pitch, and, they're going to get you. I don't care if you make good pitches. Once you show you can throw 2 for strikes, now that gives them, all right, what are you going to throw at what count? And, it puts some doubt in their mind.
2-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. That'll leave it a count. And Alex Avila just came off the DL recently. 0 for his last 7. He's thrown a lot of pitches here in the second, but that's because he's given up a couple of hits. He's had to make more pitches. Avila just came off the DL prior to Tuesday's game in Toronto and takes outside a full count.
It's already the 4th full count for Justin tonight, which is a lot. It's still early.
Time called as Santana goes to the mound. So far, a lot of jabbing and a lot of dancing around the ring. A single by Martinez and a single by Kelly. Both to right field. But now with 2 down, a 3-2 count. The payoff pitch to Avila. The runners go. And it's ball 4. He's walked his first, and they're loaded up now for the number 9 hitter, Ramon Santiago. And this is something I talked about in our Indians Live segment today. Too many times in this last stretch of games, we've seen Indians pitchers struggle with the bottom part of the lineup. And when those guys get aboard, you start turning it over back to the top. And that can lead to trouble.
You know, when you do it for the 4th and 5th time in a ball game, eventually they're going to get you.
Ramon Santiago, base hit to center field, and the Tigers take the lead. 1 scores and 2 scores as Bourne bobbled the baseball. And Detroit strikes first, 2-0. Santiago hitting a .169. Those are just the 3rd and 4th runs batted in for him on the year. Now, he's only played in 26 games now, but...
Well, young hitters like this, he knows once a walk comes there, he's looking for one pitch, a fastball, and it's thrown right down the middle and try and get ahead of him. And he's a major league hitter, and you get balls down the middle, and you're going to put a good swing on it. Detroit will take a 2-0 lead. 2-out base hit by Santiago.
Austin Jackson takes a strike. Austin Jackson yesterday scored 4 runs against Toronto, a career high for him. The 0-1, fouled right back. Masterson has been out here for what seems like an eternity now in this 2nd inning. It has been a 30-pitch 2nd inning. And he's not getting any help. 1-2. Swing and a miss. He strikes him out, and the inning is over. But Detroit sends 7 men to the plate. They score a pair and lead it 2-0. Two 2-0 Detroit on top early, bottom of the 2nd inning. And it's going to be Michael Brantley, Carlos Santana, and Mark Reynolds due up for the Tribe. And Brantley coming off pretty good road trip. He went 12 for 37 at the plate. He scored 7 runs, and he drove in 7 runs.
Well, coming off a 4-hit day yesterday, so, you know, you said he was going to have a good July, so the calendar page was turned.
He takes a strike. Yeah. Rick Porcello struck out a pair, walked one in the first, got help from his defense when Andy Dirks made a good diving catch in left to end the inning. And now it's 0-2 on Brantley, who did not care for the call by Rob Drake. One ball, two strikes. Brantley, Carlos Santana, Mark Reynolds all here in the second inning. Michael strikes out. Already 3 Ks for Porcello, 1 down. Well, we talked about this being a big series. What do the players think about that, Katie?
Well, Matt, this is just another baseball game to those Indians players. I spoke with a bunch of them in the clubhouse today, and they told me the goal is always to win the series no matter who they're playing. But with that said, they don't get many 4-game sets against divisional opponents. The key for them, don't look ahead, focus on tonight, and play fundamentally sound baseball.
And as a player, that's your mentality. I mean, it doesn't matter. Even though you're playing, let's say, the Tigers, sure, you want to beat them, but it's like that's their thought process every day is to go out and win the game and to win the series.
Now the one in the 0-1 pitch.
They have struggled to beat Detroit this year, and one of the reasons why is because Detroit has dominated them in the first 3 innings. They have outscored them 26-10, this being game number 9. So they're always trying to play catch-up against this team. This is a team where you got to try and get that lead early and play from in front. It's so much easier.
Down low to Santana, 2 balls and a strike.
But you're going to have to score against the Tigers if you want to beat them, because they're a tough offense. They just keep coming at you.
Santana out in front of it. Got a small piece. The 2-2. And that's low, a full count. Jim Leland said, we told everybody when the season started that the Indians were a good ball club. They made some nice acquisitions in the offseason. And he feels like the veteran leadership they've added has helped this club. Carlos Santana with a 1-out single here in the second, and the Indians have their first hit of the ball game.
Well, he left a high changeup, I believe, up in the zone. Yeah, I think that's what it was. A changeup, and man, belled high, and he ropes it to right. There it was, deep in the zone. This Tiger staff, they are a changeup group, man. They're not afraid to throw it at any time. Any pitcher they throw out there will throw the changeup at any time. So the first hit for the Indians gives Reynolds an opportunity.
Rick Porcello misses down low for ball 1.
All right, let's check. See how slow that ball is at the very little spin, but there was no vibration on that bat because it was hit on the barrel. That's our Fox Phantom cam. That was a good swing.
Mark Reynolds takes a strike. It would do the Indians offense a world of good if Mark Reynolds could end his slump and get hot for a while. 0 for his last 15, 4 for his last 30. Swing and a miss, 2-2.
Well, he helped him out there, and that's what happens a lot of times when you see guys in slumps, and we talk about it a lot. They want to hit their way out. Sometimes you have to be a little more patient and work your way out and take a walk sometimes so you get to see the ball a little better. Mark he's swinging it a lot. He's trying to hit his way out of it, and sometimes that can hurt you because he's a swing and a miss type of guy anyway.
Fourth strikeout for Porcello, 2 down here in the second. Injury report brought to you by Elk & Elk, serious lawyers for serious injuries. Call 1-800-ELK, Ohio. Omar Infante was involved in a controversial play in Toronto. He was taking a throw at second base when Colby Rasmus went in hard, went in late, and made contact. Turns out it was just a left shin bruise, but Infante looked like he was seriously hurt on the play. But Jim Leland said, sometimes a bruise is no bowl of cherries either. And he said, that's something that can get pretty sore and linger for a while. You don't know for sure. And that's kind of where they left it. There was a lot of talk about maybe potential retaliation. Nothing took place, and that's the last time the two clubs meet this year. Jim Leland didn't feel like it was... Actually, it was Omar Infante who didn't really think it was a clean play. He said afterwards, quote, "You come in to break up a double play, but not like that. That's too much. I know some players play hard and some players don't think about another player, but that slide, that's dirty. I mean, that's just too much." That's Omar Infante, and, of course, he bore the brunt of it.
Well, the guy that came in, Colby Rasmus, hard at second base, was hit by a pitch on the foot, mind you. But that's a situation where the players pretty much take care of it themselves, or they should,
or do not.
Well, a lot of times we talk about it. The players will take care of it on the field, and the players will see to it that it's done. But what people have to do is quit talking about it to the media and build this thing up like it's something bigger than what it really is.
Weak chopper to short, and the inning is over. 2 complete. The Tigers 2, the Indians nothing. On at times today, but boy, late afternoon, sunshine, beautiful evening. Andy Dirks, Miguel Cabrera, Prince Fielder due for Detroit here in the third. It's hit pretty hard in the gap, right center. That'll go to the wall. So Andy Dirks is into second base with a leadoff double. And like I said before, don't pay any attention to what his numbers are on the year because he has swung the bat well against the Indians.
Coming right back with that leadoff double. Jumped on Masterson's pitch early in the count.
That's 13 hits and 37 at bats this year against the Indians. Our stat of the game brought to you by your Northern Ohio Buick dealers. All time for Detroit. Hits before the All-Star break. Miguel Cabrera right behind Al Kaline. And
he won't be behind him for long.
You wouldn't think so with 8 games left, or at least. Not sure if the Tigers have any off days between now and the break. Wouldn't think so.
And I mean, look at this guy, 85 RBI as well before the break. The only year I remember like that is Manny Ramirez here. One year where he had about 90.
So the Tigers, including this game, they got 10 left before the break. So ample time for Cabrera to overtake Kaline on that list. All-Star break this year later than last season.
It's about a week later, isn't it?
It's never really right at the 81. It's never right at the halfway mark.
Right.
But this year it seems to be
later than normal.
Yeah. Pitch outside. Last year the All-Star break occurred on July the 8th. 85 games into the season. Well, this is game 86. Bounced up the middle, and that's through. Another base hit, another run scored for Detroit. Miguel Cabrera with RBI number 86. He has more of those than anybody. And now it's 3-0 Tigers.
Well, just strong enough as that ball skips through the infield. He's laying back. He was looking to shoot it the other way. And he just gets enough of it. It's a two-seamer, and he didn't crowd him enough to get it in. See, they wanted it in. And he left that ball middle of the plate, and he was able to get enough on top of it, get it through the infield. So 2 up. They've got 1 in. They make it a 3-0 ball game.
Now Prince Fielder. He bounced out to second base his first time up, and he takes ball 1. Masterson already over 50 pitches. Two balls, no strikes. Little squiver back to the mound. Masterson looks to second, goes there. They get 1 on to first. Double play. Nicely turned. 1-6-3 on the Twin Killer. So Masterson makes his pitch and then gave Cabrera a perfect feed.
Yeah, no problem. Just give a good feed. Let him turn it. Fielder couldn't get out of the batter's box. Came off the end of the bat. Went right back to Masterson and able to turn it.
So now Victor Martinez, a base hit his first time up. Low ball 1. 3-0 the count with Johnny Peralta waiting on deck. Walked them on 4 straight. Second walk issued by Masterson here tonight. There's a look at the delivery.
Wow.
On that Phantom cam.
Look at the torque on that arm, huh?
I think if I was a pitcher, I wouldn't ever want to watch this camera on my delivery.
No, sirree. Looks like his arm's going to fall off. And that's the sticker because it almost looks like he turns it over.
Johnny Peralta bounced into a fielder's choice his first time up. Swing and a miss. Well, it's no surprise that the Tigers have the early lead here tonight because this year they're a .279 team, batting average-wise, when they have a runner in scoring position. That's 5th best in all of baseball. But against the Indians, they've hit .345 with a runner in scoring position, and they've already got 2 big hits with a runner in scoring position to drive in runs here tonight.
Well, the 2-out base hit by Santiago, and then nobody out right here in this inning.
One ball and 2 strikes. I thought that was a strike to Peralta right there. Let's take another look. What do you got? A little low. Now the 1-2. Back to over the screen. And the 1-2. Fouled right back.
Masterson now at 62 pitches. You already have 5 Detroit hitters that have gone, or 6 Detroit hitters that have gone with 5 or more pitches. And that gets the count up. We told you in the first 2 innings he had 4 3-2 counts. Boy, and that gets the pitch count up there in a hurry. Something that the Indians are trying to stay away from, getting a starter to get them deep into a ball game.
Out of play.
Masterson, one of the only guys that's been able to do it consistently in their last 13 games. 10 times starters, they've had to go to that bullpen in the 6th inning. Guys are not able to go deep enough, exposes that bullpen.
And the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. 3rd strikeout of the night for Masterson. Tigers add a run to their lead. 3-0 middle of the 3rd. Just a reminder as you enjoy a cold one to stay tuned later in the game for Miller Time, brought to you by Miller Lite. Bottom of the third, it will be Drew Stubbs, Michael Bourne, Asdrubal Cabrera for the Indians. Drew Stubbs has hit .242 on the year, coming off a road trip in which he had 10 hits in 39 at-bats. And a strike call. The Indians, they have had 2 base runners, so 1 out walk to Cabrera in the first, a 1 out single by Santana in the second. They could use a couple of hits to get this big sellout crowd into the ball game.
That would help, wouldn't it?
Second sellout of the year here at Progressive Field. The 1-1 pitch. And a line drive single into left field for Stubbs.
There you go. You try that. Get that leadoff man aboard.
Here's our great clip of the game from yesterday. Drew Stubbs. His 2-run homer had the Tribe sitting pretty. Swung the bat well. And as I mentioned, finished a pretty good road trip in which he had 10 hits. 4 runs batted in yesterday for Stubbs. Great clips. It's going to be great. Now Michael Bourne, who struck out his first time up. And he looks at a ball down low. The 1-0. Way outside, 2 balls, no strikes. Now, let's see what happens, because so far this year, first time through the lineup, the opposition has hit .237 with 1 home run against Porcello. Second time through, .341 average with 8 homers. Bourne lines it to center field, but it stays up enough for Jackson.
Stubbs didn't know.
I don't think Drew Stubbs saw him catch it.
No, he didn't. He thought it might have hopped, and it's going to be a double play. He might have thought it bounced. He was taken off, and that ball stayed up, although Bourne hit it right on the nose.
I thought I saw Stubbs stop halfway to second base and then just took off again.
Well, you see where Jackson does catch it, and there's no question about that. Stubbs must not have seen it, and he was too late to get back. So right on the nose, double play. That'll go.
Yeah, he's halfway, and he thinks I don't know what he thought, but he didn't.
He thought it bounced. He was looking for help. Obviously, he didn't see it.
Now 2 down for Asdrubal Cabrera, who walked his first time up. And he ropes one to first. Fielder catches that. Indians are gone in a hurry here in the third. 3-0 Detroit. Drew Stubbs talking to Brad Mills, probably telling him he thought he saw the ball sink and maybe hit the ground. Otherwise, he would have stopped and gone back to first.
No question. Sometimes you get out there and, he obviously didn't see it. And when he was coming in, he thought that it bounced before Jackson caught it, and it didn't.
Don Kelly to lead off now for Detroit, and takes a strike here in the 4th inning. A little bit outside, huh? One and one to count. Boy, he is missing by a lot.
Well, there's times where he can go out and pull some. That 83, I don't know what that was that got away from him. But, he can hold on to some fastballs at times that shoot over into that batter's box.
3 balls and a strike. Hit on the ground to short. Cabrera on the move. Flips it over. 1 away.
Swing for the fences with the new Home Run Derby mobile game from MLB.com. It's available on iPhone and iPad. You can download free today.
Alex Avila drew a walk his first time up. It's funny. We talk about sometimes when a pitcher gets deep in the game, it's because he doesn't have a lot of strikeouts. Putting the ball in play, economizing the pitch count. But sometimes you might not get the strikeouts, but you still get the pitch count rising up because of what's happening tonight. Detroit has 9 foul balls when the hitters had 2 strikes. So they get the 2 strikes, and instead of putting it in play or striking out maybe, they just keep fouling them off and making you work a little bit harder.
Have a lot to do with it. You're right. But, some of that comes with command and control, too, where you can't put the ball where you want to every time out there. Well, and a lot of times with Justin, his ball moves so much, it's tough for hitters to center on the pitch. So if they don't beat it into the ground, and you like to see them early in the counts when they do, but sometimes they just foul it off and get a piece of it. And it seems what they're doing tonight.
Now the 0-2. Fouled right back. And here we go again. Instead of being able to throw that wipeout pitch to put them away or get them to put it in play and pop it up or hit it, they keep just getting a piece of it, or whatever the case may be, they continue to make you have to throw more pitches. Well, you can see Santana where he wanted that pitch and where it ended up were 2 different things. 1-2 the count. And that's the nature of pitching sometimes. You don't always throw it right where the glove is. There's a swing and a miss. Down and in. He swung over the top. 4th strikeout for Masterson. 2 down here in the 4th inning. Right now on FoxSportsOhio.com. All about the Cavs' latest signing. An in-depth look at the Browns' running backs. And remember to check out Fox Sports Game Connect. Get complete coverage of all today's action involving Ohio sports on FoxSportsOhio.com. Ramon Santiago at 2 out, 2-run single to center, his first and only time up tonight. Little topper foul. Ramon Santiago, 33 years old. And he takes strike 3 call. Tigers go 1-2-3 for the second time tonight, but they lead it 3-0.
Well, next week, a week from tonight, as a matter of fact, the Royals will be in town. Come on down. It'll be the same thing. It'll be Dollar Dogs, and it'll be a post-game fireworks show. The fireworks will be set to disco music.
Jason Kipnis, Nick Swisher, Michael Brantley due up here in the home half of the fourth. Attending her first Indians game.
Well, let's hope she stays up. The Indians come back, and she gets to see some fireworks.
Jason Kipnis struck out his first time up. Now the 0-1. Jason with 54 runs batted in on the year, and 20 of those 54 have come during his 15-game hitting streak. Chased the high fastball there, 1-2.
Porcello this year has started 5 games against the Central Division. He is 2-1, has a .338. One of those 2 wins have come against the Indians.
Bounced in front of the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Two and two the count here for Kipnis, opening the bottom of the 4th inning. Porcello delivers, and strike 3 called.
Yeah, he knew it. He was walking back, so he's gone down twice tonight.
5th strikeout for Porcello. 1 down here in the inning. AT&T U-verse rewind. Rick Porcello is pitching well against the Indians again.
Well, he did. He's gone 6 innings in his first 2 starts. We had mentioned he had only given up 7 hits in both of them. He's given up 2 tonight, 2 singles.
The 1-0 is fouled away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Indians brought a 24-15 home record into tonight's contest. That's one of the better marks in the league. The 1-1. And now Porcello gets ahead in the count. Up high, 2-2. That changeup floats away, a full count. Michael Brantley waiting on deck is Swisher. Tries to get aboard here in the 4th. The Indians have had a base runner in every inning so far here tonight, but they haven't been able to get anything going. There's ball 4, and that's the second walk issued by Porcello. As we'll get a look now at tonight's AT&T trivia question. 3 Indians players have led the league in home runs and RBI in the same season. Who are these 3? Homers and ribbies in the same year, 3 of them. Results coming up later in the game. Michael Brantley, a strikeout victim his first time up. Pitch number 60 on the night for Porcello. Brantley showed bunt, took it back. It's ball 1.
Well, not a bad idea. Cabrera was playing deep. He was about 3 steps behind the bag over at third base. Brantley says, all right, I may just try and lay one down. It was a ball. Decided not to bunt. Usually with runners on base, Porcello gives up some knocks. The opposition hitting .355, but tonight the Indians are 0 for 5.
One ball, 1 strike. And it's a called strike over the outside part of the plate. Porcello delivers and Brantley fouls it back. Now 1-2. Another foul by Brantley. Rick Porcello really has pitched well on the road of late. His last 5 road starts, his ERA is just .284. While the opposing team has hit .231 against him. Even though his record is only 2-2 in those 5 road starts, as well as he has pitched. Big bouncer towards second base. Santiago goes to second. They get the lead runner. 2 down. We'll send you back now to the Hyundai Studios for an in-game update with Al Pawlowski.
Hey, Matt, Rick, Baltimore, New York, and an AL East tilt tonight. In New York City, the O's on top, 2-1, thanks to Matt Wieters, his 11th homer of the season. It's a 2-run shot in the second inning. New York has a single run in the bottom of the fourth, so 2-1 now Baltimore. They're in the fifth in New York. Matt?
All right, thanks, Al. Here is Carlos Santana with a runner at first and 2 down. Santana singled his first time up. He slammed a changeup into right field. Indians have just 2 singles and 2 walks so far tonight against Porcello. He has struck out 5. Down low, 1-1.
He's brought that pitch back this year, that curveball that he's been using a lot tonight. He used to be like that sinker, slider, changeup guy. He scrapped the slider, although he will throw it occasionally. But he brought back the curveball into play, and it's worked much better for him.
Runner goes, pitch, hit, foul. And now Santana down on the count of 1-2. So Porcello again looks in. He deals, and Santana fouls it out of play. Michael Brantley with 8 stolen bases on the year. Held by Fielder at first. Draws a quick throw. Santana, in addition to the 10 homers he's hit this year, 21 doubles. 70th pitch of the night for the Tigers right-hander. And it's inside for a 2-ball, 2-strike count now. Another throw over, but not much of a move. Brantley easily back. And he's keeping a close eye on Michael Brantley. This is game number 85. And Prince Fielder has played in every single one of them for Detroit. And he'll make the easy play to end the inning. Indians offense shut down and out through 4. And the Tigers lead it 3-0. Baseball is brought to you by the wireless receiver only from AT&T Uverse. Rethink possible. And by your local Toyota dealers. Toyota, let's go places. Here at Progressive Field, a packed house watching as the Tigers, having all the fun so far, leading it 3-0. Top of the order for Detroit here in the 5th. Justin Masterson about to make his 80th pitch of the night. He worked a 1-2-3 fourth inning. He could use a quick 5th. Austin Jackson 0 for 2 has grounded out, struck out. Missed for ball 1.
Yeah, right now Justin got to hold the fort until that offense can do anything with Rick Porcello. His 2 little singles today.
Swing and a miss. It's 2-1. Now the big right-hander fires, and Jackson chases. It's 2-2.
Jackson earlier in the year hurt his leg against the Indians, ended up going on the disabled list, missed some time.
Well, since he's come off the DL on June the 14th, he has been on fire, hitting .347.
Well, Dirks was leading off a lot when we saw him, at least. You know, this guy, he's an igniter over there. He makes things happen. He gets on base. He sets the tempo for that whole lineup.
Another full count. Five full counts on the night for Detroit hitters. A swing and a miss. Masterson has struck out 3 straight Tigers hitters. Give him 6 on the night. You got Dirks looking in the first inning. Jackson swinging in the second. Peralta was a strikeout victim, and then Avila and Santiago to end the 4th before getting Jackson again here in the 5th. Andy Dirks doubled and scored in the 3rd. Well, one thing is holding true here tonight. That is the Tigers getting out to the early lead. They've outscored the Indians now 27-10 in the first 3 innings of their season series. 2-2 the count here on Dirks.
Well, though on the road, though, the Indians were a comeback team. They were able to come back in a number of those wins. They're going to have to do that again tonight.
Yeah, I'd have to look back. I think 5 of the 7 wins on the road trip, though, were all come from behind fashion. 3-2 pitch. And he missed ball 4. So Dirks aboard for the second time tonight. And up comes Miguel Cabrera.
Well, the Indians will wrap up the series against the Tigers on Monday night. And the first 10,000 fans through the gate will receive an Omar Vizquel bobblehead. It is courtesy of KeyBank. So come on out Monday. Good pitching matchup. Scherzer going for the Tigers, who was undefeated.
13-0.
13-0 up against Scott Kazmir.
Miguel Cabrera swing and a miss. Justin really took something off the slider there. The base hit in the 3rd to drive in a run gives Cabrera 86 runs batted in on the year.
You know, and you see, it doesn't matter. He swung at that first pitch that was a slider down the way. He runs it. He swings at this pitch, the sinker down and in. This guy has total plate coverage, and there's no one way to pitch him. He uses the whole field. He'll guess with you. And when he gets pitches, a lot of times he won't miss them. Masterson had 2 strikes on him back in the third inning, when he was able to fight that ball off and get a hit. The sinker down, he just didn't get it in.
Well, a wild pitch puts Dirks into scoring position. And that's never good with this guy at the plate.
No. And the Indians are by far league leaders in this department when it comes to wild pitches. This one way over in the other batter's box. That's the 49th wild pitch this year. And that's the 8th for Masterson. I mean, they give up a lot of extra bases.
Hit in the hole. Chisenhall with a nice play. Throw to first. Got him. 2 down. Nice defensive effort by Lonnie Chisenhall. He takes a base hit away from Miguel Cabrera.
Well, he was able to get down on the slide. You could see that top spin on the ball where it picks up. But he's able to flag it down.
But not out of the woods yet as Prince Fielder comes to the plate. Santana out to talk with Masterson, who's closing in on 100 pitches now. And left-hander Rich Hill up in the Tribe pen. Fielder 0 for 2. Bounced into a double play his last time up. Now the right-hander comes set, checks that runner at second base, Dirks. He deals, and Prince Fielder takes close pitch, but it's ball 1. Two and 0 after his last start. Masterson, who went the distance and shut out Chicago, said that's the challenge for us as starters, to try and go out and go as far as we can to help out the bullpen. Tonight, however, a different story as he's closing in on pitch number 100 here in the 5th.
Well, it is for him because he's normally the only guy you can count on for 6 innings. And it's going to be tough to do that tonight.
Well, it all depends on how quickly he can dispose of Fielder here.
He's gone
3-0, and he's got Victor Martinez next.
6 innings in every start but 1 this year.
And that's 4-pitch walk. Now, Victor Martinez has not done much at all from the right side of the plate. So the question is, do you want him to hit left-handed or right-handed here? And they're going to stay with Masterson because Mickey Callaway's coming out to talk with him. Not Terry Francona to make a change.
Yeah, season high 5 walks now for Justin.
2 in the inning.
And you know, you get up around that 30 pitch count. He's got a 32, a 20, a 21, and he's not out of this inning yet. It adds up fast. Especially when most of these guys are right around the 100 pitch mark, 110, 115 tops. Makes for a short night. And as I told you, for the last 13 games, that bullpen has been in before the 6th inning a number of times.
Well, the starters have only averaged 5 2/3 for the whole year.
Well, this is the one guy, like I said, you could count on. And tonight, it's going to be, looks like a short night for him.
Victor Martinez singled in the second. He walked in the third. And he's got 2 on base with 2 out. And a called strike. Now the 0-1 downstairs. Now I mentioned that the decision Terry Francona had here is, do you stay with the big guy who's your starter, or do you turn Martinez around and get into your bullpen early in the game like this? Because Victor, all 7 of his home runs and 31 of his 42 ribbies have come from the left side. He hasn't done anything at all from the right side of the plate. A strike called. It's 1-2. It's only the 5th inning. But Masterson trying to hold Detroit at bay. They lead it 3-0. Then the 1-2 pitch just missed outside.
Let's look at this pitch on our Nissan pitch tracker with the slider away. Again, we've seen a number of pitches like that today from Masterson. It's just off the outside edge. It doesn't come in.
Two on, 2 out, 2-2 pitch. Fouled off into the Tiger dugout. Jim Leyland tried for the bare hand grab. He did not come up with it. I think he was a catcher in his day as a player.
Yes, he was. A little one at that.
Masterson with Martinez in a 2-2 count. 2 guys traded for each other, squaring off here. The pitch, lined into right field, a base hit. Coming around third, Andy Dirks. Stubbs throw, not in time. 4-0 Tigers. So Martinez gets the best of Masterson here. And he's 2 for 2 on the night with his RBI single in this 5th inning.
Well, the walks in this inning, they come around and score. And that's been the MO here lately. If you walk a guy and he tried to go right back out, this one was a good pitch. And Martinez let him know it. He was looking out there. He got the same backdoor slider that he missed with earlier. Drives in another 2-out run. So 3 of the 4 runs coming with 2 outs for the Tigers. Martinez gets his 43rd RBI. It's a 4-0 ball game.
Johnny Peralta 0 for 2 with a run scored. Looks at a ball outside. That's in the gap, right center. Look out. All the way to the wall. Fielder will score. Martinez coming around all the way from first base, and he will score. It's a 2-run double for Johnny Peralta. 3 here in the 5th for the Tigers, and they now lead it 6-0.
A couple of former Indians doing some damage. Breaking ball. That slider stayed middle of the plate. Peralta takes it to right center field. And with 2 outs, it goes all the way to the wall. Martinez able to score from first, so a big inning. That's going to do it for Masterson. His night will be over after 7 hits, 6 runs. He walked 4, struck out 6.
Today's Cleveland Clinic call to the bullpen. Left-hander Rich Hill will be coming on with the Indians down 6-0. Well, it's a 6-0 Detroit lead. They've got a runner at second base and 2 out. Don Kelly will be the batter as Rich Hill comes on for the Indians, making his 33rd appearance. No wins or losses in the ERA of 6.95. Don Kelly is 1 for 2 on the night. He singled and scored in the second, grounded out his last time up. Justin Masterson knocked out here in the 5th inning.
Yeah, you needed a nice start from him tonight, and he only gave you 4 2/3 innings on 7 hits. So you never want to get into that bullpen in a 4-game series early, but the Indians are going to have to do that tonight.
Well, 3 out of the 5 innings that he pitched in tonight, he was over 20 pitches. And that's with retiring the side in order twice. Rich Hill with a fastball strike. It's 0-2 on Don Kelly. At the knee, strike 3 called. The inning is over, but the damage is done. The Tigers lead it 6-0. Tigers out in front 6-0 as we go to the bottom of the 5th inning. It will be the bottom third of the Indians' order due up here. Tiger starter Rick Porcello has shut him down and out. He's given up just 2 hits. He's thrown 71 pitches, and 44 of those have been strikes.
Well, and every start against him this year, he has been the same. He's been pretty good. 6 innings in his first 2 starts. He does have 1 no decision and 1 win. You know, and that's usually what he is. He's about a 6-inning pitcher. But this year, 7 innings. He's gone 3 out of his 15 starts. Just 7 innings 3 times.
Inside, he missed. 1 ball, 1 strike. Breaking ball over the outside corner, and it's now 1-2. Down in the count, 2-2, or down on the zone, 2-2. Reynolds strikes out again. That's a half dozen Ks for Porcello. One down here in the fifth. Well, if you were born and raised in Ohio and want to be the next Fox Sports Ohio girl, go to girls.foxsportsohio.com/girls and submit an application. The casting call for the next Fox Sports Ohio girl ends on July 24th. There's a pop in the air, left field. Coming hard, Dirks dives. Can't make this catch. And into second base with a double is Lonnie Chisenhall. Third hit of the night for the Indians is a bloop double to left. And a runner in scoring position now for the first time in the game.
Well, perfectly placed. He gets the curveball. That curveball stayed middle of the plate, but Lonnie slices it down the left field line. Dirks comes in. He made a diving catch earlier in the ball game, not able to get to this one. So the third hit for the Indians, the first extra base hit. So that ball hit the ground and he rolls over the top of it.
Now Drew Stubbs, a single his first time up. Takes a fastball right down the middle for strike one. Up and in. Drew Stubbs has been a .284 hitter with runners in scoring position this year. Just a little bit better than the team's overall average. .278 for the Tribe, seventh best in the Bigs. John Adams banging away on that drum. One of the few times we've actually heard this crowd tonight.
Well, there hasn't been much to cheer.
No. The 1-1. 2 balls and a strike. Porcello just north of 80 pitches on the night. Tiger bullpen quiet. He's working with a 6-0 lead. Popped up. Out of play, 2-2. This series tonight marks only the seventh time ever that the Indians and Tigers have met, with each of them in first or second place and only a game and a half separating them. First time was in 1940, and they met 3 different times that year, this close in proximity. Porcello will take care of Stubbs, 2 down. It didn't happen again until 2007. So between 1940 and 2007.
That's a long time.
But remember also, they were in the same division, you know, with the Yankees,
right,
and the Red Sox. They were all lumped together for a long time there.
Up until the mid-90s, yeah.
And then it happened twice in 2007, 2 different series in August where they were close, but the Indians used those series to pull away and ultimately win the division. And it happened again in August of 2011, but that's when the Indians were starting to fade and they just couldn't catch or hold on. And now, here again tonight, the first of a 4-game series. Michael Bourne, a swing and a miss. And to this point, it has not gone well for the Indians in the opener. Porcello with a 1-1 count on Bourne. And Michael bangs it right at the second baseman, Santiago. And that's that. 5 in the books. Detroit 6, Cleveland nothing.
Well, the Tribe will take on the Tigers tomorrow night in the first 10,000, or tomorrow afternoon, I should say, 4 o'clock start. The first 10,000 fans through the gates will receive a 1904 replica Block C cap. So log on to Indians.com, get your tickets. Gates open up at 2:30.
Alex Avila, Ramon Santiago, and Austin Jackson for the Tigers here in the 6th. Avila has walked and struck out. Looks at a ball down low. Tried to hold up, but he went around 1-1. He lays off. It's outside. 2-1 to count. Avila, just 3 hits in his last 13 at-bats. And he takes a called strike to even the count. Rich Hill fires, and it's outside. Full count. Ramon Santiago waiting on deck. Swing and a miss. He strikes him out. One down. And Rich Hill has struck out both hitters that he has faced since coming into the ball game. The in-game recap brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Ramon Santiago with a 2-out, 2-run single in the second inning. Got the Tigers on the board. Then Miguel Cabrera, an RBI single, drove home Andy Dirks, who had doubled in the third. And then in the fifth, a couple of big 2-out RBI hits, one by Victor Martinez, another by Johnny Peralta. And nice effort by Santana, but he does not come up with it. All adding up to a 6-0 Tigers lead to this point in the game.
You know, a tough play here for a catcher. This one's not high enough. He's got to battle and come back as quickly as he can. Look at the fence, put it up. Should he have made it? Possibly. But that's not an easy play for a catcher.
Ramon Santiago broke into the big leagues with the Detroit Tigers in 2002, which might have been one of the low points in franchise history when they won just 55 games that year. Lost 106. You would have thought that until the next year.
Yeah,
when they won 43 and lost 119. So this guy has seen the worst of times in Detroit and the best of times. And he's survived it all at 34 years of age.
Well, didn't he go somewhere else too, Santiago? And
then, Seattle.
Yeah, he was out somewhere, and then they brought him back. And it was Infante and Santiago. And both have done dual duties over here in Detroit.
Phil Garner was the manager back in 2002. And then replaced by Luis Pujols. And then Alan Trammell took over the next year. So it was Trammell who had the unenviable task of managing that 43 and 119 squad.
Well, you remember that year, boy. It was like, holy smokes. They got hot towards the end not to lose 120.
Well, and then they just decided to shift course. You know, Dave Dombrowski came on board, and he convinced Mike Ilitch that the way to win is to spend. And so they went out and started spending. Remember, when they started throwing money at people, you were kind of scratching your head going, wow, what are they doing?
Pudge Rodriguez is one of the first free agents.
Naglio Ordonez. They really overspent to get those guys to come there, because when you lose 119 games, you're not exactly high on anyone's list. Santiago bangs one towards third. Chisenhall off-balance throw, got him. 2 down. But slowly but surely, they've been able to build a winner. Let's go downstairs and get the latest on Zach McAllister from Katie Witham.
Well, Matt, he threw a 60-pitch bullpen today, resting halfway through to make it more like a real game. Terry Francona said he looked and felt very good. He threw his fastball, cutter, and that splitter. The next step is to get him into a sim game. He'll face some Lake County hitters, and then hopefully he'll get a rehab start after the All-Star break.
No, the key is being able to throw all of his pitches and stay pain-free. If he can do that, then that certainly is a step in the right direction. 2 down, Austin Jackson 0 for 3 on the night. That one all the way to the backstop. Swung on and missed. Big swing by Jackson. And the count evens at 2-2. Now the 2-2 and a slow curve. Bounce towards short. Cabrera unloads in a hurry. Got him. 1, 2, 3 go the Tigers. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th. 6-0 Detroit. The Tigers lead it 6-0 as we move to the bottom of the 6th inning. And due up for the Tribe is Drupal Cabrera, Jason Kipnis, and Nick Swisher. A sold-out house tonight here at Progressive Field. Indians returning home after a lengthy road trip that saw them go 7-11. Just a game and a half out of first behind the Tigers. But an uphill climb now, down 6-0 as Drupal Cabrera leading it off. Rick Porcello with the first pitch strike. He has given up just 3 hits in the game. 2 singles and a double. And that double is the only runner the Indians have gotten into scoring position.
I can't say it enough. It's like his first 2 starts against them.
Right at third. Cabrera barely had to move. 1 away. Take a look at both starting pitchers from our Phantom Cam. Taking a look at their deliveries. Look how Masterson's arm almost flattens out before he delivers the ball.
And then rolls it over, yeah.
Now let's take a look at Porcello.
He's more on top.
Yep. That's a breaking ball.
Yeah, you could tell coming out of the side of his hand.
Jason Kipnis 0 for 2. He has struck out twice tonight.
(16 of 21) first pitch strikes for Porcello. We've got that going for him, pitching from in front.
Well, he's had a lot of hitters, 2 strikes early in counts, and that's a way to pitch. Kipnis with a line drive base hit into right field. That'll extend his hitting streak to 16 games.
Well, that's one breaking ball he wasn't going to let get by him. He's thrown his curveball a lot tonight. Kipnis lined this one past Santiago at second base. He left that one middle of the plate. Kipnis hurts him, keeps the streak going. Good swing right there on the baseball. You can see where the ball is hit and where the follow through comes through.
All right, now Nick Swisher. He was robbed of a hit in the first on a terrific play by Andy Dirks in left field. Now Nick Swisher lines one into left field. Dirks can't catch this one. He does play it on a hop, though. And back-to-back singles here in the sixth inning, and the Indians breathing a little life into this crowd now. And up comes Michael Brantley.
This looked like it might have been a high changeup again. And watch the grip on this changeup. You see it's deep in the hand. It's not like a circle change. He holds it deep. Unlike some guys hold it, but he left it upstairs, so Swisher stayed on it nicely. So the curveball was hit to right field. The changeup up and away went to left field. The Indian back-to-back hits for the first time tonight.
Detroit has their bullpen busy, Rick, as they...
Yeah, sixth-inning guy is Porcello.
Got one out in the sixth inning. Michael Brantley with Carlos Santana to follow. And that's Bruce Rondon, the youngster who can really rush it up there. I mean, he'll hit triple digits on the radar gun. They thought maybe he would be their closer when the season began, but
well, this third time through for the Indians hitters, I don't know if it tells you anything, but they've swung at 6 of the first 8 pitches he's thrown. So they're trying to get after him early and not spot him anything when he was throwing strikes.
Brantley takes a breaking ball for a strike. Right back to him. They go to second. They get the out there and on to first. Not in time.
Bad throw by Porcello cost him a double play ball.
Nearly threw it into center field.
He had the play down. All he has to do is feed Peralta chest high, and they have the double play and out of the inning. But they do not. His throw is up. Johnny does a nice job just to get rid of it and even make it close. He saved him. Stepped on the bag and turned it, but Brantley just does beat it out. Look at, he's up in the air with no foot on the base. Now he's going to land on the bag and get rid of it before he even takes another step. Pretty good play there by Peralta.
Yeah, good footwork.
He just couldn't get enough on the throw. But that was Porcello's fault, so the Indians will catch a break there and get an extra out here.
Well, they need one of those big 2-out hits with runners in scoring position that they have made a living on this year. A .289 average, second best in all of baseball, with runners in scoring position and 2 outs as a team. Santana drives it deep center field. Back is Jackson, and he will make the catch just in front of the wall to end the inning. 6 complete. It remains 6-0 Detroit. Panini with 18 locations in Northeast Ohio. And by Levin. Gorgeous night here in downtown as you look in at the ballpark from our Panini Cam, brought to you by Panini's Bar and Grill. Boy, is it great to see the joint packed. Every seat is filled tonight. But unfortunately, the Tigers have tattooed the Tribe to this point, 6-0. Today's Cleveland Clinic call to the bullpen. Joe Martinez coming on now for the Indians. Making his second appearance this year. He did a nice job in Chicago when he worked a couple of scoreless innings with a strikeout.
Yeah, just what they needed. As a matter of fact, that's why they ended up keeping him here, in case they needed any length from Martinez, who has been a starter down in the minor leagues.
Well, I think that's essentially the role he's going to fill tonight. Unless the Indians, rally to get themselves back in it, he'll probably be asked to pitch the final 2, maybe 3 innings tonight. We'll see how it goes. He was a starter at AAA Columbus. That ball is ripped right field, and that'll one-hop the fence. And Andy Dirks, boy, all he needs to do is see Cleveland on the front of the opposing jersey, and he starts to hit 2 doubles tonight.
Both leadoff doubles. He did it back in the 3rd inning. So the Tigers with 3 doubles on the evening. They have 8 hits total. Well, let's see the location. There you go. That ball right there, you just can't get ahead of him. He turns on it, and that's that nice, slow phantom cam. Fox provides. That's nice. Nice swing.
Now Miguel Cabrera 1 for 3 on the night. An RBI single back in the 3rd. Smoked the short, caught by Cabrera. 1 away. Miguel to his dribble, 1 down here in the 7th. As promised earlier, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. When Prince Fielder was a 12-year-old, back in 1996, he took a little BP at Old Tiger Stadium. And look who's throwing to him. None other than Indians manager Terry Francona.
Look at, he had some hair then.
Terry said the one thing he remembered about that, Prince didn't pick up the baseballs after he didn't go shag him. You notice he was a switch hitter back then.
Yeah.
He could still lean on it, though. Even as a 12-year-old, you could see that same batting approach that he has today. Hit on the ground to second. Backhanded by Kipnis. 2 down. Dirk slides over to 3rd. Now Prince Fielder, what's really impressive about him, in addition to how good a hitter he is and the power that he provides, it's just his durability and his absolute refusal to take a day off or to come out of the lineup.
Plays
you have
every
to
day.
Admire and respect the guy that says, I'm here and I'm here to play every single day.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Victor Martinez told me in Detroit, he said, I'd like to play first base once in a while, but Prince never takes a day off.
Well, that's right. I'm not going to take the day off to let you do it. Albert Bell was like that. You couldn't pull him out of the lineup. You're regulars for a reason.
This year already, though, Victor has been able to play 4 games at first base because Fielder has DH'd 4 times.
Would Victor have to buy him?
But, you know, Victor and Miguel Cabrera, they played in all but one game.
He made a play at first base about 2 weeks ago. Victor did. It was
Remember
unbelievable.
that? Terrific.
I mean, he flipped one that he wasn't even looking, and the pitcher was there, and it was a tremendous play.
He gave a little peek over his shoulder to just see if he was
to
there.
it, right.
And then a perfect no-look flip. In fact, was it Porcello?
I don't remember who was on the mound. I don't remember 2 weeks ago. I do remember seeing the highlight, and I said, that's special. I'm sure you'll see it again at some point in time because they always show the good plays.
It was,
and that was a great play.
Not as good, but somewhat reminiscent of the Burley play.
Yes.
On Lou Marson.
When he
on
flipped
opening
it to
day.
Konerko,
Yeah.
but Victor was the first baseman and flipped it to the pitcher behind the bag.
The 1-2. Ripped foul. Joe Martinez trying to strand Andy Dirks at third here in the 7th. Down in the dirt. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Victor awaiting the 2-2 pitch now from Joe Martinez. Didn't miss by much, but a full count. So we've had Cabrera line out to Cabrera. Well, let's see if Martinez can get Martinez. Joe sets, payoff pitch, and a line drive base hit. Victor has his second RBI hit of the night, 3 singles in all, 7-0 Detroit.
Third time they've been able to get a 2-out base hit. And little add-ons here and there, they go a long way. And that's the breaking ball down and in. Victor loves that ball down and in. Doesn't matter whether it's breaking, it's soft, or it's hard. He hits it and hit it hard.
So 2 down, a runner at first, and now Johnny Peralta to the plate.
Dirks has scored 3 runs tonight.
Well, the former Indians have had a hand in this one. Peralta and Martinez have combined for 4 runs batted in out of the Tigers' 7 scored. One ball, 1 strike.
Well, this is the team they're going to have to solve right now are the Tigers, because the Indians, it's the only team they're below 500 with in the division. If the Tigers stay on to win, they'll be 2-7 against them.
Well, there's no doubt they've had their number.
Yeah.
Weekly tap to short. Cabrera will flip it, and the inning is over. Tigers add another, and we've reached the 7th inning stretch with Detroit in front 7-0. 7th inning stretch.
Well, the Indians Tribe Park and Ride will bus you to and from Progressive Field from 5 area suburbs one more night. That'll be next Saturday, July 13th. You purchase your fare for only $5 per person at Indians.com.
Bottom of the 7th, Rick Porcello stays in there for the Tigers. He has struck out Mark Reynolds twice tonight. Broken bat, bouncer to short, and Johnny Peralta will throw him out. One away. Let's get the answer now to the AT&T trivia question from earlier tonight. The 3 Indians who have led the league in homers and ribbies in the same season.
'53, '54, and '95. Rosen, Doby, and Bell. Not an easy thing to do.
Pitch down low for ball 1. Lonnie Chisenhall pops one up. And Santiago has that 2 down. It was on this date in 1947 when Larry Doby made his debut for the Cleveland Indians. Just weeks after Jackie Robinson had broken the color barrier in the National League, Doby did it in the AL. And yet for so many years he did it in really relative obscurity. I mean, people just, rightfully so, they paid tribute to Jackie Robinson and lauded him, but somehow Larry Doby just almost went forgotten by a lot of folks.
Not if you knew Larry Doby, you certainly didn't. He was one of the nicest men you'd ever meet. Terrific ball player, and I was around when he was a coach. He was a great man, nice human being.
Rick Porcello now at 100 pitches on the night. And a ground ball to third. And the Indians go 1-2-3. Rick Porcello pitching a gem tonight. He retires the side on 7 pitches in the 7th. presented by authority of the Cleveland Indians and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cleveland Indians. Rick Porcello, 7 innings of 5-hit shutout baseball. Struck out 6. And he walked just 2 Cleveland Indians batters tonight. Gets the handshakes, and he did a tremendous job. And just absolutely stifled the Indians. And that's 3 times this year. The Indians just can't figure him out.
Well, it's funny. Porcello, he pitches well against the Indians. And on the other hand, Masterson pitches poorly against the Tigers.
Joe Martinez here in the 8th inning facing Don Kelly. 1 for 3 on the night is Kelly. Fouled back out of play. You know that graphic we had up about the Indians who led the league in homers and RBIs?
Right.
1953, Al Rosen did it and won the MVP award. The next year, Larry Doby leads the league in homers and RBIs, doesn't win the MVP award. He had 10 more homers than Yogi Berra, had more runs batted in than Yogi Berra, played on the pennant-winning team, and still somehow lost the MVP vote to Yogi Berra. He was a tremendous player and a Hall of Famer in his own right, but
that year,
how in the world does that happen?
Well, look at Albert in '95 when he did it.
'95, that's what kind of drew me to this whole thing, because how Albert Bell didn't win the MVP in '95 is a crime as well. Now, sure, he was a pain in the butt for the media and the people that covered him, and maybe they held that against him because he had 50 homers and 50 doubles and something that's
in 144 games.
Hard to really comprehend, but
well, who won it that year? Mo Vaughn, and that was a travesty.
Who was, by all accounts, very good with the media and that type of thing. So maybe that had something to do with it. I wasn't around in 1954, but I'd love to know how that happened. Anyhow, I'm not taking anything away from Yogi Berra. The guy's a great player, but Doby had 10 more homers, more RBIs.
Well,
played Indians, on the team that won the pennant.
They had 111 wins that year.
Bobby Avila finished 3rd, his own teammate. Minnie Minoso, the White Sox, finished 4th. Bob Lemon and Early Wynn finished 5th and 6th. Because they didn't have the Cy Young yet, I guess, right? I don't remember when they started the Cy Young Award. 57, I think. So that was interesting. Bounce to first. Swisher will take it himself. 2 down. In-game box score brought to you by your Northern Ohio Hyundai dealers. And for the Tigers tonight, Andy Dirks, the table setter. Because Austin Jackson, they kept him off the bases, but Dirks got on board 3 times and scored all 3 times. And the former Indians, Martinez and Peralta, combining for 4 runs batted in, each with 2. Normally, when you hold Miguel Cabrera and Prince Fielder for a combined 1 for 7, you got a pretty good chance. And the Indians didn't even have a chance tonight. The 2-2. And Santiago bangs it foul. In the air to center field. Michael Bourne racing back, and he'll make the catch. 4 out of the 8 innings tonight, the Tigers have gone 1, 2, 3. But the other 4 innings, they've put up 6 runs and lead it, or 7 runs and lead it 7-zip. Seven 0 Detroit. And a reminder that late innings are brought to you by Captain Morgan Rum. Raise a glass always in moderation. Now on for Detroit, Al Albuquerque, who will pitch in the 22nd game this year, and he is 1-1 with a 2.25 ERA. He'll deal with the top of the order. Michael Bourne, Asdrubal Cabrera, and Jason Kipnis coming up for the Indians. Bourne 0 for 3 tonight. There were 2 balls hit by the Indians tonight that potentially make it 3. 3 balls hit by the Indians tonight that potentially could have changed the course of this game. The first one was in the first inning, when Nick Swisher lined a ball to left field with 2 outs. And Andy Dirks made a terrific diving catch on to end the inning. If he doesn't make that catch, maybe Cabrera comes around and scores on that play, and the Indians, who knows, they're off and running early against Porcello. The second play came in the 3rd inning when they got the leadoff hit by Stubbs, and then Michael Bourne lined one to center field. Jackson came in, made a terrific running catch, basket style. Stubbs thought it had bounced. He was standing on second base, so they threw back to first and doubled him off, and that wiped out a potential rally there. And then the other one obviously was in the 6th inning when, with 2 on and 2 out, Santana hit one to deep center field that Jackson ran down on the warning track. Other than that, though, it's been one of those nights where the offense has been just shut down. And the Tigers, while they haven't done a lot of damage that makes you go, wow.
2 out hits for them.
They just got some clutch hits that push runs across,
Yep.
and they kept adding to the lead all throughout the game.
2 out base hits have done it. They go a long way in a ball game. Well, the Tigers are finishing up an 11-day trip as well. Pretty much what the Indians have just come off. And starting a long homestand to go into the break. They will play the 4 games here and head home before the All-Star break. They were down in Tampa. They were in Toronto for 4, and now they're here for 4. So long 3-trip trips. Or 3 city trips, I should say.
Low, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And their wraparound on Monday is a night game. So that makes it long for them. Yeah. You know, you get on that 4th game on a wraparound and you have to go on Monday. You pray it's a day game so you get home at a relatively good time.
Swing and a miss. And Cabrera strikes out, 2 down. The Midsummer Classic returns to New York with home field advantage for the World Series on the line. It's the 2013 Major League Baseball All-Star Game live from New York, July 16th, only on Fox. And now Jason Kipnis, who singled in the 6th inning to extend his hitting streak to 16 games. Swung at a fastball down. One the count. Swung at another ball down. In addition to hitting in 16 straight, he's been on base safely in 36 in a row. Strikes out, and Al Albuquerque whiffs the side here in the 8th. Stay tuned for Indians Live coming up after the ball game. Brought to you by Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care. It's the 9th inning. And Austin Jackson, Andy Dirks, Miguel Cabrera coming up for the Tigers. Joe Martinez will indeed stay on and If he can get through this last frame, he'll pitch the final 3 innings tonight, which will help the bullpen. You see the big crowd, 40,167, the official attendance. It's the first non-opening day sellout since the 4th of July, 2011. Austin Jackson has struck out twice tonight.
They've done a good job keeping him off base and tying him up.
Yeah, I mean, they really have. Because he's the guy that can, he's their Michael Bourne to a certain degree.
He's the igniter, their table setter, whatever you want to call it.
Guy patrols center field, he's made some spectacular catches in his career and this year as well. But he strikes out for the 3rd time tonight. Looking back at tonight's keys to the game, Masterson had a rough outing. There's no other way to put it. 4 2/3, 7 hits, 6 runs, walked 4, struck out a half dozen. Indians 2, 3, 4 hitters. They couldn't get any traction tonight against Rick Porcello, which is the same old song and dance against him this year.
It is, and anytime you don't hit, you look tired. But these guys do look tired tonight. I will say that. But good pitching can make a team look tired.
Joe Martinez with a couple of strikeouts now here in the 9th inning. 2 down. And Miguel Cabrera coming up. Couple of pitchers getting loose in the Tiger pen. Lefty, righty up. I don't know if it has anything to do with it or not. It's probably just coincidence. As Cabrera lifts one in the air to deep right field. We'll get into this more when we come back. But Masterson coming off the complete game effort. Could have taken a little fuel out of his tank heading into tonight's game. Indians Live comes your way right after the game here on Sports Time Ohio. Brought to you by Conrad's Tire Express and Total Car Care. Al and Jason will have the highlights. Rick and I will have some thoughts. Katie will have reaction from the clubhouse as the Tigers lead it 7-0 here in the 9th inning. Bruce Rondon will come on now for Detroit. Albuquerque worked the 1-2-3-8 and struck out the side.
This is the guy that they went into spring training, wanted him to be their closer this year. And, you know, a young guy, and I'm telling you, he can hit triple digits with a slider. It just didn't pan out that way. Went back down to the minor leagues. They ended up designating the big man that they had in the closer, Jose Valverde. So this guy is back up, getting some action, and that's what they're looking for. They're trying to solidify their bullpen as well. $102. How about that?
Yeah, he can get it there in a hurry. Throwing strikes, however, a different story. Commanding the baseball at times has been a problem.
It all comes down to the same thing. It's locating the baseball, where you put it. It helps when you have a little velocity, but hitters will find a way to get you.
Nick Swisher lifts one in the air. Left field over near the line. Andy Dirks makes the catch. One down. You know, I was mentioning right before the third out there, 3 times this year Masterson has pitched a complete game shutout. The first time, in his very next start, he went just 5 innings and gave up 11 hits, 4 runs, and took the loss. Second time, he came right back against Seattle and pitched a gem, 7 innings, only allowed 3 hits, shutout baseball, and struck out a season-high 11. But now here again tonight, after a shutout, he had a tough time. So 2 out of the 3 times following the shutout, the complete game effort shutout.
Look at the teams he's faced coming off the shutouts. It was Boston the first time, which is a good offense, and they came in rolling. It was Seattle the second time you mentioned after that shutout, and this time it's Detroit. So your 2 out of those 3 have been very good offenses that were ready for you.
So you don't think the shutout or the complete game or the pitches and nothing to do with it, just the teams you're facing?
I don't.
So more coincidence.
I think more coincidence than anything, because in his last start we watched him pitch it. It was free and easy. I mean, there was nothing there. He didn't max anything out. It was. I thought he matched up against a White Sox team that was just struggling offensively, and he pitched a beauty. This is a totally different offense here with the Tigers, and you got to be on top of your game. And historically, he hasn't had very good numbers against these guys.
You could see Avila as he caught that ball. His glove was violently moving outside the batter's box. This guy throws so hard he could probably pick your glove off your hand with it.
Yeah, I don't think catchers like to catch them unless you're going to throw it where we're sitting and where we want it.
3-1 pitch. And ball 4. So a 1-out base runner now for Carlos Santana. Santana, 1 for 3, line to deep center, back in the 6th with 2 on and 2 out. Now the 1-0 pitch. Down low. You know, you think back to that ball he hit in the 6th inning with 2 on and 2 out. He crushed it. I mean, I thought he hit it hard. I thought it was at least off the wall. Deep center field. But this is one of the few nights this year where it is dead calm at the ballpark. I mean, there's not a whisper of a breeze. And how many times have we seen it either blowing in or swirling or blowing out? Usually it's some kind of wind action, but Not tonight.
You're right. It has. It's been quiet. Well,
and not
Jones,
a single home run hit in this game.
The pitching coach wants to go out just to settle a big man down. Hey, look, kid, throw strikes. We don't need you to see you throwing balls at this point in time of the game, and give them base runners.
A strike called to Santana. One on, one out. And the 2-1 pitch from Rondon is smoked into right field. A base hit for Santana. And Brantley will go to third. So a couple of base runners here in the ninth now for the Indians. And Mark Reynolds coming to the plate. Reynolds 0 for 3, couple of strikeouts and a ground out. Santana takes off, goes down to second. When Jeff Jones, the pitching coach, went out to talk to Rondon, I thought about that story I'd heard so many years ago about Art Fowler.
Yeah.
He was a pitching coach for
Billy Martin
in New York. In a situation like that where they had a big lead and the guy was throwing a lot of balls, wasn't throwing strikes. The story goes Art Fowler would go to the mound and say, "Son, I don't know what you're doing out here, but Billy's getting ticked and the beer's getting warm, so you better figure it out quick."
Art Fowler was a beauty.
Reynolds awaiting the 0-2. And Rondon delivers. Low, 1 ball, 2 strikes. And what you're seeing right now is not the problem, but it's raw power can be fun to watch, but unharnessed, it's not a finished product yet.
Well, it may take a while.
He misses again, 2-2.
But the stuff is there, the potential. And you see that in a lot of players and kids coming up, and it's just a matter of, will they get it? Will they be able to do it?
Now the 2-2. Almost chased after it, but I think he held up, and Joe West agrees. Full count. Well, you think back to Aroldis Chapman when he first came onto the scene with Cincinnati. He had a tough time finding the strike zone. He could throw it all over the place. But once he figured it out, he's become a very, very good closer. The set. And the 3-2 pitch to Reynolds. Swung on and missed. He struck him out. Third strikeout for Reynolds tonight. 10th strikeout for the Detroit pitchers. Now Lonnie Chisenhall 1 for 3 with a double. Second and third, 2 down in the ninth. a strike is called. And the 0-1 pitch. Fouled right back. Bruce Rondon about to make his 20th pitch of the inning. Up and away with it. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Rondon has that powerful build. Now the 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. He strikes him out to end the game. And the Tigers convincingly whipped the Indians tonight by a final score of 7-0. And they now open up a 2.5 game lead in the American League Central Division as they go to 47-38. The Indians drop to 45 and 41, and the Indians have now dropped 3 in a row. Time now for our key play of the game. It's brought to you by Key Bank.
Well, let's go back to the second inning, and it's 2 outs here. Masterson a chance to get out of it, but fastball down the middle to Santiago, who drives in the first 2 runs of the ball game. It was the 3rd hit in the inning, and that was after following a walk. So that was the key play of the game. Key Bank key of the play, brought to you by Key Bank. Proud to be the banking home of the Cleveland Indians.
So Detroit wins it 7-0. We're back to recap it on Indians Live next.